If we lost our wild places, we would be less of a people and less of a place. I can't imagine what it would be like to have developed the whole country. It would be like pulling out a piece of not only my heart, but the heart of our whole country.
The Sierra Club Legal Committee, out of which the Legal Defense Fund, now Earthjustice, grew, were a very narrow group of lawyers who were volunteering their time.
Around the country, lawyers were beginning to look at how do you use the law to protect places.
Well, there were various people who began to believe that conservation law could be developed as a separate subject, and more particularly that we could use the courts to affect good results.
You know, there was a ferment at this time going on, an exciting growth of statutes. NEPA was passed, Clean Air Act shortly thereafter, Clean Water Act shortly thereafter. All of a sudden, tools were made available where you could do something about the outrages that were occurring.
That really helped spawn the whole public interest environmental law capacity that the United States has had ever since. And we're unique in the world in that way. Most places in the world, citizens can't go to court to enforce their own government's laws. Well, Earthjustice is doing the work that we've done for decades on protecting wild places and protecting wildlife, and putting on the lens of climate change and looking at what's important now. We've got to make the ecosystems as resilient as possible so they can endure change. That means looking at watersheds and riparian areas. There's going to be a lot of stress on the water system, so protecting that and restoring it where it's been degraded is really important. We've got to spend a lot of our time and effort trying to stop or slow down the climate change from happening in the first place. So we're doing a lot of work on eliminating the burning of fossil fuels, which are the driver of climate change. It means looking at how do you connect protected areas so that movement of species can happen, to try to force the system to do ecosystem planning. And that involves looking at lands that are managed by different land managers. It means different federal agencies and state agencies and private companies and individuals. They have to take the science of change into account and plan for resilience in the future. Not just draw a line on the map around a piece of land and figure so long as you can protect that, you're fine. That doesn't work anymore. Earthjustice is well situated to think this way about the future, think about climate change and the public lands and wildlife, because we are looking at the system-wide tools that are available. We understand how the law is structured and how the decisions have to be made and where the leverage points are. So we're not seeing the agencies change what needs to be done on the landscape. We're using the law to force those changes because the Congress is not doing it. The agencies are not doing it themselves. Using the courts is the way we can work successfully to make these changes. This is the best shot that can be given to the future generations of Americans to enjoy these places and the wildlife that we have.